what advice would you give to other care experienced people in the room, or to the younger generation who will watch this when we edit it and put it out? What advice do you want them to hear about who they are and what they can achieve, and who should support them, who's going to support them? Something along them lines.
I just want to say, you are enough at the moment. Literally, it's come straight to my mind that regardless of your circumstances, you are enough, and they just need to hear that. But that just came to my mind, so yeah.
Regardless of whatever happened in your past, it doesn't necessarily define your entire future. So even if you go through hard times and obstacles, you've got the entirety of your life to, figure things out. I mean, I'm 27, I'm still being called a young person, and I thought at this stage it'll be all over. So, there's still time, there's still hope. I think the other thing I would say as well is, even if you don't do well in school, even if you struggle to get your GCSEs or whatever it is, there are options out there in terms of finding employment, finding ways to support yourself. And I feel like that's something which has definitely come into focus in recent years in terms of alternative education and ways of, basically getting yourself into a good position. So it's definitely not the end of the world. Because I remember when I was in school and I got kicked out for a huge portion of my school life, that people were saying, oh, if you don't get your GCSEs and this and that, it's all over. You're going to be working in Maccadees and flipping burgers and making Big Macs and all these other types of things, I think that's a very old-fashioned mindset. I think there is hope. There are opportunities for you to carve essentially a future for yourself, regardless of whatever it is you went through in your past. And I think as well, and this is the last point I work, so I don't want to hog the microphone, but it's also important to give back. So when you're in a better position in future, look at the people who are coming up behind you, a bit like what Judith is doing, and say, provide wisdom and support and opportunities for them as well, because they're going to have their own obstacles. And I feel like something which does separate people in the care system from those in, upper society, the Boris Johnsons and Rishi Sunaks and all the rest of it, is that they have their network and community of people who will lift them up. Whereas as a care leaver, it can feel quite isolated, quite alone. You might be depending on people who are also going through struggles. And so, do give back, do support people, even if it's just, participating in something like this and giving advice or, setting up schemes. There's definitely ways we can break the cycle, I think, and create that tribe which gets talked about.
I would like to say I've written some notes on this, and I would like to speak to our young people and just let them know that your past doesn't determine your future. No matter where you begin, you have the power to rewrite your own story. I found encouragement in the story of others who overcame adversity, such as Dr. Ben Carson that I mentioned, who has gone on to achieve great things and has numerous accolades behind his name. And he was told that he was dumb and he was stupid and he would never make it, but his mum believed in him. And I also want to say, speak life over yourself. The words you tell yourself matter. Choose words that empower and uplift you. Surround yourself with individuals that speak life over you and bring out the best in you. Surround yourself with positive mentors through books, music, and individuals. Be open to support. It's courageous to ask for help, and it's okay to feel different. Don't try to fit in when you've been called to lead and stand out. Stand up and take your rightful position. You've been uniquely created for greatness, so commit to walk in your greatness each and every day. Embrace your uniqueness, because that is where your true strengths lie. Refuse to give up. Keep moving forward, speak life over your life, and take charge of your self-talk. The power of life and death is in your tongue, so make a decision to speak life. Make a decision to break the generational curse. Sonia Carson, as I shared, was determined that her sons would succeed. She spoke life over them and inspired them to never give up and always do their best. I hope the words I'm sharing today will empower somebody listening in the room or somebody listening via recording, that you've been uniquely created for greatness. Refuse to give up, be defiant in the face of adversity, and just be absolutely adamant that you will succeed. You might fall, you might stumble, But just remember that you will make it if you fix your mind